Emma Thompson stood in the tiny kitchen of her one-room apartment, stirring a pot of soup on a rusty stove. At 22, her life was a patchwork of struggles. Born to a poor family, she'd left college to help her mother, a seamstress, pay the bills. The city around her buzzed with opportunity, but for Emma, it felt out of reach. Yet, amidst the grayness, there was James Harrington. James was her light. A 25-year-old from an upper-middle-class family, he worked at a sleek advertising firm downtown. They'd met a year ago at a charity event where Emma volunteered, and his warm smile and genuine kindness had drawn her in. Despite their vastly different worlds, her patched clothes against his tailored suits, they'd fallen deeply in love. Their relationship wasn't easy. James's parents disapproved, calling Emma a charity case. Her own neighbors whispered she was chasing money, but James didn't care. One evening, under a sky streaked with city lights, he'd slipped a modest ring onto her finger. "I want you forever, Emma," he'd said. Tears in her eyes, she'd whispered, "Yes." Now, engaged, they dreamed of a future together. Today, Emma planned to surprise him at his office with lunch, a small gesture from her limited means. Carrying a bag of homemade sandwiches, Emma walked through the towering glass doors of James's office building. The security guard waved her through with a smile. "For Mr. Harrington again?" he teased. She nodded, her heart fluttering. The elevator hummed to the 10th floor. As she stepped out, she spotted James down the hall and froze. His arms were wrapped around a tall, elegant woman in a designer coat. Her dark hair fell over his shoulder as she hugged him tightly, whispering something Emma couldn't hear. Pain stabbed through her chest. Her hands trembled, the lunch bag nearly slipping. She edged closer, catching the woman's words. "I'm so happy for you, James. You deserve this." James smiled. Her smile, the one she thought was hers alone, and said, "Thanks, Sarah, it means a lot." Sarah. The name burned into Emma's mind. Was this why his family hated her? Because he had someone else? Someone who fit his world? Tears blurred her vision. She couldn't breathe. In a daze, she stumbled to the parking lot, yanked the ring off her finger, and placed it on James's car windshield. Then she ran, the city swallowing her whole. Unbeknownst to her, Sarah was James's college friend, there to say goodbye before moving abroad. Moments earlier, she'd playfully asked if he'd propose to her instead. But James had laughed. "I'm in love with someone else," he'd said. Sarah had hugged him, wishing him well. But Emma didn't know that. James found the ring an hour later. His stomach dropped. "Emma?" He called into the empty lot, but she was gone. Her phone was off, her apartment empty. Her mother, confused, said she hadn't come home. Desperate, James searched for weeks, hiring investigators, calling friends. But Emma had vanished. Meanwhile, Emma boarded a bus to her mother's new home in a smaller city, hours away. Her mother's arms were a refuge, but her heart remained shattered. She replayed the hug endlessly, convinced James had betrayed her. Days became weeks of tears until necessity forced her out of bed. With no degree, jobs were scarce. Rejections piled up. Secretary, cashier, waitress. Finally, she took a job as a cleaner at a modest hotel, scrubbing floors for meager pay. It was survival, not living. Years passed. Emma's hands grew calloused. Her dreams faded. She lived quietly with her mother, her only comfort the camaraderie of her co-workers. Among them was Mike, a janitor with a gentle smile, and a daughter he raised alone after his wife's death. He'd bring Emma coffee on long shifts, listen to her rare stories, and once said, "You're stronger than you think, Emma." Mike liked her. Everyone saw it. But Emma kept him at a distance. Her heart, though scarred, still whispered James's name. Across the miles, James built an empire. His family's business thrived under his leadership, and he became a wealthy man. Yet success felt hollow. He dated, but no one was Emma. The ring sat in his desk drawer, a silent reminder. 8 years after that fateful day, James stood in the lobby of a hotel he'd just bought, an investment in a quiet town. As he inspected the space, a woman knelt nearby, cleaning a stain from the tile. Her hair was tied back, her face lined with time, but when she looked up, his breath caught. "Emma?" Her mop clattered to the floor. "James?" Before they could speak, Mike approached. "Emma, you okay?" His voice was protective, his eyes flicking to James. "Yes, Mike. This is James, from a long time ago," she stammered. Mike nodded, lingering a moment before stepping back. James felt a twinge of jealousy, but pushed it aside. "Emma, can we talk?" They found a bench in the hotel garden, the air thick with unspoken words. Why did you leave? James asked, his voice raw. Emma swallowed. I saw you with Sarah, hugging her. I thought you were cheating. James's eyes widened. Sarah! She was my friend, saying goodbye before moving abroad. I told her I loved you. That's all it was. Emma's hand flew to her mouth. Oh, James. I didn't know. I thought I'd lost you. I looked for you, he said. Everywhere. When I couldn't find you, I thought you didn't want me. Tears spilled down her cheeks. I never stopped loving you. I just couldn't face the pain. Mike appeared then, carrying coffee. Thought you might need this, he said quietly, setting it down. James watched him, then asked, Emma, is there something between you two? No, she said firmly. Mike's a friend. My heart's always been yours. Relief softened James's face. Mine too, Emma. These 8 years. I built a life, but it wasn't whole without you. Can we try again? She hesitated, then nodded. Yes. Let's take it slow. But yes. Over the next months, James visited often. They talked for hours, rebuilding trust. Emma told him of her struggles, Mike's kindness, her mother's frail health. James shared his loneliness, his success, his regrets. One evening, on the hotel balcony, James took her hand. Emma, I want to marry you. For real this time. Will you? She smiled, tears shining. Yes, James. They kissed under the stars, the past a distant shadow. Mike, watching from below, smiled sadly but sincerely, happy for his friend. Emma and James married in a quiet ceremony, her mother beaming, Mike clapping from the back. It wasn't the life Emma had once imagined, but it was better, a second chance earned through time, forgiveness, and love.